Hello guys. Yeah, so welcome back. Yeah, so let's continue with our Flutter series. Right, so we've been able to achieve this section of the design. Yeah, so this section of the design, okay, but just with a different icon. So the next section we want to have this avatar section. All right, we want to have this avatar section. So therefore, us to have this section in our app bar, all right? This app bar, okay. Remember, everything we are doing here is inside of our app bar. Okay. So also, let me also teach you. No, I think it's too early, but our code is looking a little bit messy. So you can see this warning, these blue lines all over my project. So this brings us to another topic entirely, right? Not different, not entirely, not another topic, but part of uh, what Flutter frowns at, right? So whenever you have a widget that is not that the items contained in that widget are not dynamic, right? They are handwritten, okay? Because of uh, uh, because of how Flutter works, right? Flutter most Flutter rebuilds each of these widgets, right? Whenever something changes. Okay. So by default, when this screen is loaded, okay, when this screen is loaded, everything here, everything here is built. Okay. Everything here is built. Now, whenever there are changes to this project, so let's say for example, we had a number that automatically increases or yeah, increments whenever a button is pressed. Okay. In that case, once that button is pressed, everything in this uh, widget 3 reboots, except for any widget that has this const. You see, this const is to tell Flutter that this widget is a const, right? Meaning it does not need to rebuild. It does not change. It's a constant, right? It does not need to rebuild. It does not need to change. So for example, there is no time we are planning on changing this write-up or this text, right? So in that case, we're actually telling Flutter that when you are rebuilding these classes, do not rebuild this text, right? Because it's a constant, it's never going to change. So, including these icons, right? Nothing here is going to change, okay? Except we have dynamic items. So, in that case, Flutter is expecting me to provide a const, either year or year. So let's say const, right? So you see, all the errors, all the warning goes out, right? This is not needed because we've already told Flutter that this widget is going to be constant, right? It's not going to change. Okay. So in that case, we provide this class here called const, okay, to Flutter, just so because Flutter has an analyzer that analyzes your code, right, to see if the items you have here are dynamic items or they are constant items, right? So the moment they recognize that they are constant items, they give you those warnings, right? So with this, so you have this warning because they know that these items are constant items, right? And you are expected to provide this const here. Okay. So by providing this for now, right, we are safe. We are okay, right? And it's usually annoying to have all those const, to have all those lines all over your code, right? All those warning all over your code. So In order to avoid that, we always provide that const, right? Uh, so the next thing we want to work on is this section, right? So in this section in Flutter, in this app bar, still in this app bar, we have the what they call the action section, right? So these actions, this action is usually icons or whatever you want to display at uh, the top right corner of your app, right? In this app bar. Now, let me make something really clear to you, right? This app bar section we are working on, okay, is only this top section, okay. This is the body down, from here down. This is the body. So everything we are doing, right, in this design, this is the app bar section of the design, and then this is the body of your design, okay. So anything I put inside of this app bar, right, goes to this top section. Okay, just so I make that clear to you. So what we need to have here is, let me see, we could have this same cycle avatar, and then we have the image inside of it. So the way we are going to be doing that is, let's just start with the cycle avatar first, right? Cycle avatar, right? And then let's just give it a color, background color of black first. Now you see how sorry, the color is colors dot black, right? Now you see how I'm manually typing this whole color of the thing, right? So for example, check out how many times I've used black. I've used black here, I've used black here, and I might be using it across the app. Okay, so this brings us to uh, another topic, right? Where you would want to define this as a constant, right? And then call it whenever you need it, right? Instead of always calling colors dot black, right? Or yeah, colors dot black. Right. So what we want to do is we'll create a new folder inside of this list. So place your cursor on the list, right click, and then you click on new folder. We're going to be calling this constant, right? And then inside of this folder, we're going to create a class called a new file called const, okay, dot that, right? So this is just an empty class, right? But what we want to be doing in this class is we want to define anything that we know we are going to be using repeatedly, right, on our app. So instead of having to type black here, then black here, we just want to define this black one place. So we say color, and then but we need to import. Let's say we say color. We need to import material dot that. So if you just type color and then we say the name of this color is black, right? And then black is equals to. So but before then we need to import color. So place your cursor right, click on this quick fix, and then you need to import material that. Or you can actually manually type this by coming over to the top and say import import, and then we want to import flutter plus material dot that, right? So by doing this, you can see that the color is now recognized, right? So what we need is our colors dot black, okay. So with this we have this black. All we just need to do is save this class and then come over to where we define black here, right? And then just replace it with black, right? You see how simple it is. but we need to import that const, right, where the class is. So at the top here, you will see, uh, um, yeah, so at the top here, you see first project constant const. So this class must be imported, right? This class must be imported so that in order for you to access this variable. Okay, so we now have this black. So wherever we had black prior to now, right? We just come and replace it with black. So this is not just limited to colors, right? This is not just sorry. This is not just limited to colors. This is limited to anything, any widget at all you know be using repeatedly. But we'll get to that later. But so this presents another issue, right? So you can see this black. If I over it, you see invalid constant value. Okay. The reason is this is not a constant value. Okay, because this is not a dynamic value, meaning it can be changed. Right, I could just decide to come over here and change black, right? So, and I actually imported this class, is not defined here, so it's recognized as a dynamic value, not a constant value. So this is devalued. This does not stand anymore. We have to remove this, right? Now what this means is you have to come to wherever you have this error manually and provide const. So here we provide const. This particular one does not change. You also provide const here, and then right here, wherever you have your error, just provide const, right, and you're good to go. Okay. Um. So you can see we now have this cycle avatar. Now, from what we have here, this looks a little more bigger. So you can see that the background of this um, cycle avatar is almost similar to this, right? So what we could do is we have this gray here already. So we just copy this and come over to the cycle avatar for, yeah, so for this action, which is this, we want to change it to this, right? And then while it's loading, one last thing is this cycle is too small. Okay, so we need this cycle increased. So the way to do that is uh so you are light on this on the cycle avatar, because that's what cycle avatar does not have width and height, so there's no way to increase the width and height. It just comes with a default width and height, right? So what we could do is to highlight it and then wrap it with either a size box. So remember I told you to wrap, just double click on it, right click, and then refactor it. From here, you can also see the shortcut, which is Control plus Shift plus R, right? So if I double click, I can do on my keyboard Control Shift plus R, right? And then I want to wrap this with a size box, right, or a container. But size box is okay. So down there, I want to give this size box a width and height. Width is 50, then height is 50. So let's see if anything changes. Okay, so it's a little more bigger, right? So we need our image, right? And then we also want to give it a padding or a margin. It's a padding. Okay, so this is the issue. This is the issue. We have to change this box to a container, right? Because sidebox does not have padding. So by changing it to a container, we have access to this padding class, right? So we just do padding takes. So if you place your cursor on padding, you see it takes edge insert geometry. So this is how padding works, right? You do edge insert dot. So if you should use all, it means it's going to apply the padding, whatever value you give to all aspects of uh, the shape, all angles of the shape. But if you should use only, okay, so let's first of all use all first. And then the value we could just say 10.0. Let me save and then okay, so at this thing is shrink because yeah, there's yeah, it shrink because there's no much space here, and uh, we're actually given this padding of all round padding, right? So, but what we could do is we could say only, and then inside of this box, if you place your cursor on only takes left, top, right, and bottom, right? So we can now say right, and then we provide the value which could be 5.0, and then we save this. That's what we have. Okay, so there's a little bit space from the right. Okay, so the next thing, let's try to import our image. Let's try to use image on our project. All right. So first of all, to use an image, we have to do about two things. Right? So the first thing is we have to create a folder where all our image will be stored on uh, our project, uh, our project Explorer. Is it Explorer? Is that the right word? It's Explorer, yeah. So where we have all our files. So how to do this? Place a cursor where you have an empty space like this, right? Right click on that empty space. You see new folder, create new folder. So we are creating a folder calling it assets, right? So this folder would now hold the reason why you should call this asset is that you are not just storing only images, you also want to store probably fonts, right? A whole lot of things could be stored in this asset. So if I should right click on this asset right now, sorry, I should right click, I need to create a new folder and call this images, right? So it's inside of these images that we are going to be uh, moving all our images to. So uh, I have this avatar here, right? So what I just need to do is drag it down to this image, right? Not in the asset to the image, then leave it. So this image is in our folder, but we cannot use this image on our project except we do one last thing, right? So we have to come over to our prospect.yaml, right? So this prospect.yaml is where is the root of your project, where both your fonts and your image directory is defined, right? So from on this line, you can see to add assets to your application, add an asset section like this. So this is how it's done. You just highlight from this bottom to the asset itself, right? And then on your Windows, you do forward, control plus forward slash, right? Control plus forward slash on your keyboard. Okay. By doing so, this comment goes off, right? Now, this 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 directory or this information, this assets tells Flutter where to find your images, right? So we do not want to, so there are two ways we could actually do this. We could actually reference the images directly by just saying images forward slash um, avatar, which is the name of this image, right? Avatar avatar.png. We could actually do this like this. But the issues with this is whenever we add a new image, we have to come and repeat the same process, right? So it's but we don't need this section. We could actually just remove this, right? So this is just what we need. PNG misspelled, right? So if I should save this right now, okay, images forward slash avatar dot png, right? And then I think by hitting that key of saving, it's trying to it's trying to uh it's trying to rerun this prospect.yaml. So let's wait for a while. Okay, I'm having issues down here. They're saying okay, no. So exit code 0. So I don't have any issues. So let's go back here. And also, guys, when you're doing this, when you're commenting this, follow the instructions, right? Because uh, this asset is line sensitive, right? It's line sensitive. It's indented. If you should make any mistake here, the image will not show, right? So if I should move this forward a little like this, the image will likely not show, right? So how to now reference, how to now call this image inside of this avatar is we have the avatar up here. Yes, the avatar, right? So the child of this avatar is now going to be the image. So we'll now do background image. But I think, yeah, it's called background image. Let's see. Uh, okay, it has a child. Yeah, so let's use the child. Let's say child. And then the child, we could, so we'll now say image dot, uh, so why am I having this error here? Okay, I think am I working outside? Okay, so I'm working in this container uh, uh, space. I'm supposed to be working inside of this avatar, and this avatar ended here. So comma, and then I'll now say child. So the widget here is going to be image dot assets. So image dot assets, because there are, sorry, let me break this down a little so that you can see what I'm doing. So because there are different means of bringing images to your project, right? Image dot asset is one of the means. Okay, so it just means you should access the image in this asset, or in you should access the image in this project directory, right? And now we need to provide this directory because currently this image does not know where to find this image. Sorry, this image dot asset really does not know where to find this image, right? And how to do that is in this where you have the name, you need to provide uh, quotation sign, and then we say assets. We are trying to access this directory, so we say assets forward slash images, and then the name of the image. So we say assets forward slash uh, images, then forward slash avatar dot png. So let's save this and see what we get. I think our code. Okay, so no file or variant found for assets, images avatar.png. Uh, okay, let's go back to, let's come back down here. So that issue should be resolved. Okay, let's wait a little. This is 25 minutes already. I've been doing lots of explanations, so it takes a lot of time as well. Okay, so let's come over and see assets, flutter, images, avatar.png. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing currently, but I think we need to do. We just added that. Uh, we just added that link. So yes, so since it's a runtime issue, we might have to restart our we might have to restart our project. So let me just do a restart and see. But I don't think we might have to stop it and rerun it again for that image to reflect because uh our our project was already run before the image directory was defined. Okay, so let me just pause this while I'm rerunning this because it's taking a little bit of time, guys. So guys, I actually restarted and it didn't work, so I might just have to stop it. I might have to stop it. Okay, so it just came up. Right. So, but what I did was I just did just reloaded, right? And the image is here. Okay, so that should be it for this section. So in the next section, uh, we'll make we'll continue with our design. So I think currently we've been able to achieve this section and this section, though our this thing is still a little bit small. For us to really achieve this size of image, we need to change the height of our app bar, right? So, but I don't want to go into complex things right now, guys. Let's just stick to this simple. Uh, so once you guys get a little bit acquainted, we would go into complex stuffs, right? But currently, for now, I think we're good. We're good. We're on progress. We're on track. We are still gonna be doing some fine tuning to get this stuff look a lot more like this. Okay, but for now, I think we are trying. So, guys, see you in the next series.